Hello everyone. In this presentation, we will explore the concept of digital literacy. We know that the word literacy by itself traditionally refers to reading and writing skills. But when we tack on the word digital before it, the term digital literacy means much more. But there's a lot of confusion around this term. So what are we talking about when we say digital literacy? Are we talking about knowing how to use technology? Are we talking about knowing how to look up information? Or are we referring to a particular skill like coding? Technology giants such as Microsoft understandably focus on the technical aspect of digital literacy. For example, on their digital literacy curriculum, they state whether you are new to computing or have some experience, digital literacy will help you to develop a fundamental understanding of computers. But then they go on to explain why you need those skills by saying the courses help you learn the essential skills to begin computing with confidence, be more productive at home and at work, stay safe online, use technology to complement your lifestyle, and consider careers where you can put your skills to work. The second half of the statement focuses on why we need these digital skills. It is basically to carry on the daily functions of life in general while living in a digital society. To put things in perspective, let's talk about a term called digital bombardment. We are constantly being bombarded by digital content every second of our life. The numbers are just staggering. Let's take a look at one of the websites that puts live statistics on the internet. This is from internetlivestats.com. They update what's happening on the net by the second. Let's take a look at some of these stats. For example, currently right now there are more than 3.5 billion users on the net. When you click on, when you hover the cursor on more info, you'll see that it has more information. For example, 40% of the world population has an internet connection today. So that's almost approaching half of the world's population. Total number of websites so far that have been published, the number of emails sent, and you can scroll down to see more statistics. Number of websites hacked, about almost 50,000 websites were hacked today. So as you can see, we are constantly being bombarded digitally. And what this has done this constant digital bombardment has created a knowledge society or an information-driven society that is always on 24/7. And such an environment requires us to think differently, communicate differently, and do differently in order to fully participate in such a society. And this brings us to a definition of digital literacy that attempts to capture the complexity or the many facets of what it means to be literate in a digital society. This definition of digital literacy is from Wikipedia, and they define digital literacy as the set of competencies required for full participation in a knowledge society. I'm a bit more satisfied with this definition because it emphasizes digital literacy as an essential life skill. So this brings up lots of questions. How is all this digital bombardment changing us? What type of 21st century skills do we need to have? Not only for us as teachers, but for our students. How is it changing the way we learn? And what are the characteristics of today's learners? And how can we as teachers leverage technology to address their needs? We will focus on the last two questions for this presentation. The new digital landscape has created a new generation of learners. These are the post-millennials, aka Generation Z, aka the always-on generation. They share a globalized culture that is constantly being redefined due to new emerging technologies. So what are the traits that define today's learners? There are many websites, videos, books that talk about this. For the sake of time, I'm just going to borrow the 10 traits mentioned by Holly Clark and Tanya Avrith in their book, The Google Infused Classrooms. These 10 traits pretty much sum up the various ways today's students learn. So here they are. Number 1, digital natives. They are the first real digital natives. Our students have never known a world without smartphones, tablets, and social media. Number 2, they talk in images. Number 3, they are social entrepreneurs and like their learning to have meaning and purpose. Number 4, they think in 4D, 360 degrees, and high definition videos. Number 5, they prefer to do hands-on and interactive projects. Number 6, they communicate in short, bite-sized ideas. Number 7, they like to create. They are creative. Number 8, they have a global reach. Their social circle is global, leading to a globalized culture. Number 9, they are mobile techies. Their cell phones are the hub of their social lives. Number 10, they're gamers. They want to win using strategies, practice, and do-overs. Now, if you've noticed, each card has a strategy and it is missing. I've left them out intentionally because I want you to think about the various ways that we need to reach out to these learners. What do you think these strategies are? You will do an online assignment to figure them out. So now that we know to a certain extent the types of learners we have, the next question is, how is technology redefining the skills needed for the global marketplace? So in other words, what are the 21st century skills we need to develop in our students? Once again, there are many speculations on what those skills are. And they're always evolving because our digital world, the digital landscape is always changing. For the sake of time, I'll mention a couple of sources that talk about this. One of them is the 9 Eyes mentioned in the book Reinventing Learning for the Always-On Generation by Ian Jukes, Ryan Schaaf, and Nikki Mohan. So they talk about the 9 Eyes that you need for the 21st century. The other one, another example are the ones from the ISTE standards for students, and also you can look up the ones for teachers, for educators, and you can explore these in more detail. Another example is the technology standards. These are the old technology standards from Michigan's Department of Education, and we also have the newly published technology plan and the METEX, the Michigan Integrated Technology Competencies for Students. So I encourage you to look these up. So far what we have done is we have focused on the competencies students need for the 21st century. Let's quickly look at what teachers need. Mishra and Koehler out of Michigan State University proposed the TPAC framework in 2006. The Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge framework attempts to capture the essential qualities of knowledge and skills required by teachers for technology integration. According to Mishra and Koehler, good teaching consists of 3 types of knowledge and skill sets. Content knowledge, that is teachers' knowledge about the subject matter to be learned or taught. Pedagogical knowledge, teachers' deep knowledge about the best ways to teach. And technological knowledge, certain ways of thinking about and working with technology. The TPAC framework looks at the relationships between these 3 components in specific contexts. A teacher capable of negotiating these relationships represents a form of expertise different from and greater than the knowledge of a disciplinary expert, let's say a mathematician or a historian, and a technology expert like a computer scientist, for example, and a pedagogical expert, an experienced teacher. So in this case, the sum is greater than its parts. In other words, the TPAC is an emergent form of knowledge that goes beyond all three core components: content, pedagogy, and technology. You can explore the TPAC framework in more detail by reading Koehler and Mishra's paper on what is technological pedagogical content knowledge. You can also visit Dr. Punya Mishra's website, one of the co-authors for TPAC, for more resources on TPAC. Also, the other co-author, Dr. Matthew Koehler, he maintains a website with useful resources for TPAC. So all of these resources point to the competencies we need as teachers, students, and as individuals to fully and successfully participate in the always evolving digital world that we are living in. I have included all of these resources in the description for the video, so please make sure that you look them up. Wishing you all the best, and thank you for watching.